Hey guys, I'm here with Sadiq. He's one of our first students and one of our highest progressing students as well. He's been killing it the last few months. How long have you been doing it for?
Oh man, probably it's 10, 12 weeks now, something around
10, 12 weeks, and you didn't have any experience beforehand, correct?
Very little.
Very
YouTube videos, maybe took like a course here and there. That's really...
So from being to 0 and then like 100, let's just say is very like a top performing DJ, right? Where would you say you're at now in 10 to 12 weeks?
10 to 12 weeks. Man, to be honest with you, with doing the tools and everything that I know, I'm like 85% of the way there.
That's like
I think the last 10 to 15% is just more like dialing in the small things to just make the sound just a little bit perfect. But
more personal, like your style, your taste, but like,
bro, that song is out there for everyone to download. It'll be like, you know what I mean? It's silly, but like,
hear somebody else fine tune these sounds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
See, that's recording right there. Yeah, see.
Knowing that you can, you're not looking at like a
REC.
list.
Yeah,
You
Mike
know
song
what you're
chick.
doing.
Knowing
Knowing that,
I didn't get
it's
to.
just a matter of like putting in the time to dial
I
in.
left some for you. So like,
And,
what do you feel makes our program different
doing
from
that,
anybody else? And how is like the handheld custom private mentorship impacting your progress? Yeah, those are like the main two.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And then
Will's been showing me all the work too, and
yeah, those are the main
super
two.
impressed. It's like for us, it took years to try because we had just like.
But you said someone was on the fence, right?
We started.
I did that. Yeah. Would you
with like
share with
mentors
them? Anything else?
better than us? That's when we saw the rapid acceleration. Because
Hey guys, I'm here with Sadiq. He's one of our
There's only
first
so much you
students
can-
and
so
one
much
of
you
our
can-
highest progressing students as well.
Yeah,
it's just
Been
general
killing it the last few months. How long have you been doing it for?
Probably what, 10, 12 weeks now, something like that.
10, 12 weeks, and you didn't have any experience beforehand, correct?
Very little.
Very little.
YouTube video. We're on Earth for like a limited amount of time, so
here and there.
why waste it trying to figure it out on your own?
So from being to 0 and then like 100, let's just say is
Better
like
than you
top
can.
performing DJ, right? Where would you say?
I wish we knew that when we first started. The thing is, like, it was very fresh when we were first starting, and there's a lot of like gimmicky programs.
I think the last 10, 15%
Like your favorite artist, just join us. 10K for 3-6 months. And
yeah, there people have like some of them are just
More personal.
guys saw it,
style,
they're
your
so
taste, but like you have all the tools now at
they're
your
unrealistic
grip
at
to be able
times. They
to
promise so much, but they
fine-tune
don't.
these sounds to make them
deliver.
keep your
Yeah.
style.
That's the
I
biggest
think,
thing. It's
and the reason I
knowing
signed
that
up
you can-
with you guys, was
you're not
because y'all
looking
gave
at like a
realistic
calculated
expectations.
You know what you're doing.
You told like, hey, you put in
Knowing
the time
that
and the effort.
It's just a matter of like putting
Wherever
time
problems
to
if you
dial it
arise,
in.
just tell us.
And,
We have our
yeah,
class.
doing
We'll
that
figure it out.
and
So it was just like, okay,
I don't know how
learning,
something
hit a
that
wall.
progresses.
And then you guys tell me, okay, so you did this.
Yeah,
This
it's
is how you
incredible. I
get
mean, Will's been showing me all the work too.
breaking down the wall and on
Super
to the next.
impressed. It's like
Keep doing that. I'm just
for
breaking
us,
down
it
walls
took
after
years to
walls
try because we had
to,
just like
now
YouTube
where
or
it's,
Google
hey,
until
I
we
know what I'm
finally
doing.
started like that.
Any problem and the other wall rise, I know what to
That's
do.
when we saw like the
to get over
rapid
it.
acceleration.
Yeah, and if not, like we'll
Just
help.
like you guys were saying,
We'll do our best to try
there's
to
only
figure
so
out
much
that
you
problem.
can, so much
Because
you
we've
can
hit those walls too,
Yeah.
so we've gotten over some.
Yeah,
okay,
just
bro, this is
general
what you need.
information.
And mentorship is just so.
But there's other things
I
like
really believe
there's
that
like there's steps to
mentorship
it. For
it does
example,
two
now
things. One,
like
it'll make
for
you
people, for
better,
example, we need
and two,
to
it
go
just
into
saves you so
deeper into
much
music
time.
theory.
And
Because
we're on Earth for like a limited amount of time, so
Yeah.
I know what
why
keys are
waste
in
it trying to figure it out on your own
the scale, but
at a
it's
rapid
different when
rate,
you're able to
real quickly,
really
and
let it know
better
all
than
the
you can
keys and the
really
chords
imagine.
and fits.
Yeah,
and
I wish we knew that.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother.
thing is like
That's
it
what
was
they
very
focus on, like,
fresh
the
when
program,
we
getting
when we
into
were
the
first
program.
starting, and there's a
If
lot
you
of
can,
like
like,
gimmicky
really
Yeah.
focus on how to manage the program. That's
Hey, do you want
the
to
biggest
work
hurdle. Because it's so easy to put things in
be like your
gear and
favorite
scale
artist?
things
Just
and
join
something.
us. 10K for 3-6 months, and
Yeah, there are people
Exactly.
have like
It's just about learning
some
the
of them are
tools,
just
about learning.
like I saw it and
If you
they're
don't,
so
if I don't understand anything, like certain keys, like
they're unrealistic at times. Like they promise so much, but they don't.
He taught me. He explained the
I think
ChatGPT, but
the reason I signed up
something that I didn't even know.
y'all gave realistic
Yeah.
expectations.
Yeah, I got help from
You
guys.
told like, hey, you put in the time and the
Yeah, it's just
effort.
I'm telling you, like it's
Wherever
way better to
problems,
learn
if
with
you
someone who
arrive,
can just
just
tell
tell
you.
us.
who
We
has
have our
all
class,
this,
we'll
knowledge
figure it out. So
versus,
it was just like, okay,
you turn on YouTube,
learning,
and
I
watch
hit a wall.
something.
And then you
that's-
guys tell me, okay,
even if it's 8 minutes long,
you get, then boom.
if after
Now,
watching like 10 of them
breaking
breaking
down
down
the
the
wall,
wall,
like,
like an hour and a half
just keep doing that. I'm just breaking down walls
when
after
someone can just
walls
tell you instantly
to now where
guide you so that you
hey,
can go on
I
to the
know
next
what
thing
I'm
and
doing.
next thing and
Yeah.
And anything
like I said,
problem,
just
another
wrap
wall rise,
most of that
I know what to do now
situations.
to get over it.
Do you
Yeah,
think
if
that
not,
I know like
I
some
will,
stats and things on
I will do
YouTube,
my
for
best to try
example,
to
the way
figure out
people
that
teach,
problem, you know,
they'll like
because we've hit
overload
those
you with
walls too.
information right
We've
away.
gotten over them, stuff like,
And
hey, bro, this is
it
what
kind
you
of seems
do to
overwhelming.
this wall.
Yeah.
Have all
There's
that.
other things like
I feel like
there's
take
steps
it
to
in
it.
steps
For example, now,
to where you
like
can
for
consume
me,
it
for example,
at a reasonable rate
go
for a
into
beginner.
deeper
And
in
then
music
that's where
theory,
like things
because
accelerate.
I can't
You have that
get on the piano
learning
and
curve
play
is
like chords.
Yeah.
I know what
Yeah,
keys are in
yes,
there.
that's a great
already,
point because
the
I
scale,
think about
but
it.
it's different when you're
Looking
able to
back at it now, I
really
think
dial
you'll
in and
stripped
know
away a
all the keys and
lot of
chords
what
and fifths and
Ableton
sevens.
offered in the beginning.
Yeah,
Just
that's
so
a whole
it
nother.
doesn't feel
That's
like
one
We
thing.
just focus on like the
and you're
program,
having
getting
those,
into the
like,
program.
wins
If
on
you can like
understanding things
really
makes a huge
focus on how to
difference, 'cause it
manage
kind
the
of motivated
program,
me,
that's
okay, I
the
understand
biggest
this,
hurdle
like,
because
what's
it's
the
so
next
easy
thing?
to put things in key or in scale
oh, I
and
have
Ableton
this
by
problem,
itself.
what's
It
the
makes it
next
easy.
one?
Right.
You just need to know how to use it.
Small wins after
Exactly.
wins
It's about learning the
compounded
tools,
to
about learning.
hey, I made an
Well,
entire
and if
track
you don't,
now.
if I
How
don't
did that
understand
happen?
things,
So,
you know, certain
I
keys
think
like
the
fifths,
structure
I learned it.
y'all
I
have
learned it
been
from William.
pretty.
He taught me.
We got
He
chat
explained
now. We got
It's like
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, but you know, it's something that I didn't even know.
Step towards
He, yeah, I got
creating an
help
awesome
from guys.
track.
Yeah, that was like my next question too. I was gonna say,
it's just-
what do you
Tell
feel
you,
makes our
it's
program?
way better to
anything
learn with
else?
someone who can just tell you.
I guess
who has
structure
all
is-
this
Structure
knowledge
for me, structure is the biggest thing.
versus,
That's been
okay, you
my
turn on
number one
YouTube
thing.
and you're watching something
I've done
that's
online,
even if it's 8 minutes
I've
long.
tried so
If,
many,
after
but the
watching
thing
like 10 of
is
them, we've
that
spent like an hour
when
and
you
a half
have someone
Yeah,
else
just trying
who's
to learn
also
one
investing
thing,
in your success,
where someone can
it
just tell you
motivates to
instantly,
keep going.
Yeah, 100%.
guide
For
you,
me,
so then you can go on to
doing
the next
online
thing,
course,
the next thing, and then
I'll do
like I
it.
said,
Sometimes I'll get
rapid
lazy,
growth at such a
and
rapid pace.
I would,
Yeah.
even though I
Do you
see it,
think
I
that
get
I know like
stuck on
some
something. I have
some
no
things
one
on
to
YouTube,
really
for example,
ask
the way people
for
teach,
help.
they like
That's the chat.
overload you with information right away.
I mean,
And
even like
it kind of
you
seems
can go on like
overwhelming
ChatGPT
when
and
you
type
have
it
all
in,
that, and
and they'll
I feel
tell
like
you something,
take
but
it in
it doesn't
steps
give you the right
to where
answer.
you can
It's
consume it
super
at
generic.
a
It's very
reasonable
generic.
rate for
It
a
doesn't
beginner, and then that's when like things accelerate.
figure out a problem
and
for
you have
your
that
specific
learning curve is-
situation on the track.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's
So,
a great point
you know,
because I didn't think about it.
so, like, the artist
Looking
actually
back at it now, I think
having
y'all
class and
stripped
they tell
away
you,
a
this is what's
lot
going
of
on.
what.
When you sign up with a program,
just so it doesn't.
typically what happens is we
And
have
having
an
those
artist
quick wins
give
on
us
understanding
$5 to
things
$10
makes a huge difference because it kind of
of their
motivates you to
choosing,
be like, okay, I
and
understand this.
we set them up with like a
and then
kind of like
I have
a
this problem. I want the
training
next one.
wheels essentially
It's
to like
small
how
wins after
you're gonna
wins
shape your sounds. Like right when you start off, you
Hey,
get
I
like
made
plug
an
in the
entire
legs.
track now.
Yeah,
And then
So how did that
you have
happen?
loops
So
from all sorts of
I
genres.
think
that we
the
give to you,
structure,
like certain
y'all
certain
have
racks
been
that we
pretty-
give you on the first day or second day.
It's like
It's kind of
having
overwhelming,
steps
so we're kind of like sprinkling it in
It's-
throughout.
every
The
step
tools
is
come out
step
as they're
towards,
needed.
Yeah.
Do you think that's been a huge help, or
That
is
was
that
like my next question too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was
How
like,
is it
what do you feel
overwhelming
makes
in
our
the
program
beginning?
different
Uh,
than anything else? Like,
not overwhelming.
Like, structure
I
is-
mean,
structure for
I
me.
didn't even
Structure
know
is the
about
biggest thing. That's been my.
until like
Otherwise, it's
you.
also like 200
I've done
lessons. It's a lot.
online courses.
Yeah, they're
I've tried so many, but the
like
thing
plugins,
is
like
that
they help with like
when you have
making your
someone
music
else who's
better.
also
And,
invested in your success, it
I didn't
motivates you to keep
understand
going.
it at
Yeah.
first, but
For me,
after
doing
using
online course,
what
I'll do it. Sometimes I'll get lazy,
I told you
and
guys, hey, I have
I was-
this type of
even though I see it, I
sounds
get
of
stuck
music
on
that I
something.
like.
I have no one to
And they all
really
kind of
uh,
analyze
for
and
help.
give me,
Yeah, ask the chat.
plugins,
Like,
they give
yeah,
me
yeah.
some folders
I mean,
and
even like
as
you
well.
can go on like ChatGPT and type it in,
that really helped.
and they'll tell you
for me
something,
personally,
but
because
it doesn't give you the right answer. at
Yeah,
times.
it's
there's so much
It's
out
very generic. It doesn't
It's very overwhelming.
figure out a problem for
Different
your
sounds,
specific
stuff that they
situation
are,
on
and
the
the fact
track.
that it was
Yeah.
kind of controlled
So
already.
you know, having
Something
I
like
select
me trying to
artists
figure out
actually,
what this sounds like.
you have the
kinda
class and
already
they tell you
give it
this
to
is
me,
what's
so I
going
can just
on.
start making music along with
Appreciate that, bro.
understanding what plugins do what.
And
to
then let's
enhance
see.
the music.
What else can I say?
That
I think
just
we've covered
like
everything.
I think
You got any?
I think y'all told me too. Like this.
I guess the
that
resources, like maybe
two,
how the
3 years
resources,
learning,
like
you're just
basically
gonna
give
get
just like
given what you need
samples,
right off the bat.
plugins, Ableton,
So,
about those how's that?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
okay,
resources
okay,
like
okay,
the
okay.
tools that we give you, like basically set you up with everything you need.
Yeah.
Like the chains, like for the drum bus, with the master,
Like
all
that way, while we also encourage, like as you're going on, to sort out these sounds, so you're favoriting them, and like you're going back to them and be like, oh, this is my sound. I want this one, and that's how you slowly create your own
You're just going through. It's like sound selection, right? You're like,
Exactly.
oh, I like this one. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I like this one. I don't.
Mhm.
And you're just going through it, and then once you find the stuff that you like, you kind of start to see almost like a pattern in a
Yeah,
way.
exactly.
Oh, I like these. This is the type of sounds I like. So I'm going to incorporate these into my music. And the more you do it, now your creativity, your sound that you want to share to the world, just starts to
Yeah,
get
100%.
formed.
This is William with Select Artist School. We're here today with one of our students, Sadiq. How's it going, bro?
Good, man. How are you?
Good to have you here, bro.
Too.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Cool, bro. We'll hop right in. And I'm just curious, bro. Before you started with the Select Artist School, like, where were you at with house music production and production in general?
Yeah, so I got into house music, and I really wanted to create my own style, my own music. So I went on Google, and I was like, all right, how do I make music? And people were saying to use Ableton. So I was like, all right, I'll get Ableton. I bought Ableton and downloaded the program. I opened it up, and I'm like, man, what is this? Like, this just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really want to learn how to make it, but before I even start, I already feel like I just want to give up because I have an idea in my mind, but I can't put it out there.
Yeah.
So I was like, I went on YouTube. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and I could copy what they were doing, but it was not me. It was not my style, and it'd take hours just to learn something to make something really small, and it got very frustrating.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I kind of gave up on it actually for I don't know, months and months. I was like, I can't. I'm not gonna do this. It doesn't make sense. I'll come back to it when I have more time.
Yeah.
And I'll keep saying that, and it would never happen. So I was lucky, my friend who actually told me hey, there's these guys who are teaching people music production. And they said, it's like a course. So I was like, all right, that's perfect. I need some structure. I need something to help me get through the beginning points, help me understand what things are on Ableton, because that's half the problem.
For sure.
And that's kind of how I found you guys. And yeah, here I am.
Amazing, man. Amazing. Fantastic. And what were you struggling with the most about Ableton before you started? What would you struggle with the most before you actually got coaching with us, before you enrolled? What was the main thing you struggled with?
Well, the biggest thing was I would open it and I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing is you look at everything, there's so much stuff in there. When you're okay, how do you make a kick on a track? Okay, kick, fine. I had the kick in. Now I didn't know what to do after that. It was just really hard. It's for how easy it seems now. Back then, it just seemed so hard to really create what you have in your head and putting it out onto that canvas. So I would say that's the biggest thing is just understanding the program. And when you don't understand something, at least for me, my brain just shuts down. That motivation just goes away. So I think that would be the biggest struggle.
Okay, got it. Since starting with this, Sadiq, what's been your experience from day one through month 3? What's been your experience?
Man, I've probably made so much growth. Just from creating a simple loop and now creating an entire track, knowing that it's my track, I created myself, my creativity came out, and having the guidance with you guys to show me how things work, and going from hey, step 1 to step wherever I am now, and creating something that sounds good and it sounds fun and it's you. That structure is just incredible. And just having that one-on-one live guidance, something that is so different than YouTube videos or online courses, because I've done it all. It worked. It may work for people, but it doesn't work for me. I think having full structure has really helped me grow so much in music production.
Amazing, bro. Amazing. Fantastic. How's your confidence changed though now as well? Like I know that's a big thing for music producers. I feel like that confidence takes a huge hit early on, right? The lack of self-belief starts to set in really, really quickly. Like where would you say your confidence is now when you sit down with Ableton and, get
Oh, dude, the confidence. I'm at a point where I know that I have all the tools I need to create a track. I think that's the biggest thing is, the creativity is there, and actually being able to take an idea and just put it out onto Ableton and actually create music. Once you know that, you can create anything, and then your confidence is just through the roof. There's no doubt in my mind that I can create music now, and I'm just getting better and better. Like I'm still taking classes, and it just keeps sounding like it's at another level, and it just, and I saw like, you know what, I know how to make music. I'm there. If I'm not there, I'm getting there, and I know I'll get there. And that confidence of knowing, that inner knowing that you're actually going to make some really good music, it's golden. It's awesome.
Beautiful, man. Yeah. Beautiful. So happy to hear that, bro. You definitely earned it. You put in the work. Show up to all the classes like on time. Never miss, bro. So it's just a testament to your dedication, and that's what it takes. And it's the consistency and dedication. You've shown that time in and time out.
Yeah, and I would say that's a really big thing too. If you really want to be good at music, you have to put in the time, the effort. You have to go through the grind.
Yeah.
But once you go through that initial stage, you'll fall in love with it. I think that's the biggest thing. Once you fall in love with making music, it doesn't feel like a chore of how do I make this sound? How do I do this or that? It just happens. Time just flies, and you're just making some awesome music.
Oh man, absolutely. Well said, man. Couldn't agree with you more. What would you say the biggest breakthrough moment for you was like during like the first 3 months? You went to the first 3 months, graduated, now you're in, the intermediate second 3 months. Like what was your biggest breakthrough moment throughout the time being with us?
I don't think it's one of those things where you can say you have like a biggest breakthrough moment.
Yeah.
Every class is just another breakthrough. It's like, oh, this makes sense now. Oh, I see why we do this. And it's just like a breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough that it just feels like there's not really a breakthrough. You're just growing at a rapid rate.
Amazing.
For me, I think that's like the biggest thing. When you have someone who's done it before, you save so much time and energy. Something that I think would have taken me years to learn. Learning it in like a month is incredible. Like there's no amount of the amount of money I've invested with you guys is nothing compared to how much time I've saved.
Yeah.
And I've reaching my goals way faster.
Yeah.
Way faster than I thought.
And fantastic.
Yeah.
So happy to hear it.
And I will say one thing too. I actually had in my mind, I was like, man, okay, the level that I want to get there, I'm going to give myself 1 year. I'm going to learn it all out. 1 year, I'll be hopefully at a level that I love.
Yeah.
And that goal that I had, I think I got there after 12 classes.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, shit. I'm progressing so much faster than I thought.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, all right, well, what's after this? Like, sign me up for the next one. So it's been pretty sick. Yeah. Pretty happy with it.
Terrific, bro. Yeah. Well, super happy to have you. I'm glad to hear that. What would you say to someone, for example, who's maybe on the fence about joining? Maybe they're contemplating quitting. Maybe they're on that break like you were for a while. You're like, I need to take a break from this and come back later when I have time. Like, what would you tell someone who's on the fence about joining this program? What would be your advice to them?
I mean, how badly do you really want it, right? Think about having a skill where you can actually make your own music. Yeah. You can open up a program and you could dive into it and create something that's within you, your creativity, your sound, your music.
Yeah.
How bad do you really want it? And if you really want it badly and you want to get there as quickly as possible, the structure that you guys have is, I think, amazing. I think it's one of the best. And it's just do it. You won't regret it. I didn't regret it. And when you really don't have anything to really lose, I think you should just go for it. That's what I'll tell people. You'll be happy. You don't want to. I always say this: don't live life with regret. that's kind of how. That's why I always try to do new things all the time.
Yeah.
So don't live with regret and just go try it out and see, and you'll see how like the music that you create, you'll get addicted really fast. Time just flies. But yeah.
That's amazing advice, my friend. Thank you for like taking the time to sit and chat with us.
Yeah, of course, man.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.